Good evening. This meeting of the Tewksbury Board of Health is called to order at 6:05 p.m. Today is Wednesday, October 29th. This is a special emergency meeting being held via video conference. The meeting is being recorded and broadcast live on youtube.com, Tewksbury TV, Comcast Channel 6, and Verizon Channel 33. For the record, we have Chris, Susan, Pam as members of the board, and Shannon, director of the health department, Mike Hugo from the Massachusetts Association of Health Boards, and Jason, who's the IT. So we're going to skip over.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. We're going to skip over the Pledge of Allegiance because we are virtual. So we'll start with new business. I want to begin with being very clear. The Board of Health has not changed its position when it comes to protecting public health and safety. That has always been and will continue to be our main priority. We've heard the residents, and we are not stepping back from our responsibility to ask questions, carefully analyze the answers, and set expectations around any facility that could impact health or safety in Tewksbury, wherever it may ultimately be located. After meeting with legal counsel for the town and speaking directly with the town's special counsel, it is our belief that it would be premature for us to assert our jurisdiction in pursuing a local site assignment process under Mass General Law, Chapter 111 for this battery storage facility, and in light of certain ongoing proceedings before the Energy Facilities Siting Board, we would be in a better position to protect the public health of the town by participating in the process currently underway and weighing in under the process. That said, we do have another option, one that may allow the board to participate more directly within the official state process. Tonight, we'll be voting on two important items: to withdraw our earlier decision to move forward with a site assignment process under Mass General Law, Chapter 111, Section 143, and to authorize the board to submit a petition to intervene in the Energy Facilities Siting Board proceeding, which is where the approval for this project will be decided initially. By intervening as a full party in that process, we gain the ability to submit formal comments, request data, raise health and safety concerns, and ensure that the siting board understands and strongly considers the specific issues raised by residents and by our board from a public health perspective. I want to make sure that everyone knows that this is not us stepping back if we decide to vote this way from our responsibility. This is us moving to the table where these decisions are being made, with a clear understanding that public health considerations must be evaluated as part of the initial process. So with that said, I would entertain a motion to withdraw the board's prior action seeking a site assignment under Mass General Law, Chapter 111, 143, regarding the proposed battery energy storage facility at 7375 Hillman Street.
I will motion to drop it.
I'll second.
Okay, motion has been made by Susan and seconded. Is there any discussion on the motion?
I have a question about
Yes.
it. I don't think I have clarity on it. I don't think I have clarity that will put us in a position where we can still exercise some authority should that become necessary. I hope that Mike could address it, because I read what came out and I thought, I'm not sure that I really fully understand it.
And,
Yep.
and if I can just piggyback on that, because it is a piggyback. I've read it and I do understand it. However, this might be a concern, Pam, as well. If we're going through with this, what happens if we're still not heard and we don't get the answers that we need to protect the citizens?
Yes. That is also one of my questions and concerns. I don't want it, like, this isn't an easy decision, and it's not one that is made lightly, and I would love for Mike to chime in at any time.
I'm ready. I'm ready when you are, Melissa.
And so it is something that with legal counsel with the town of Tewksbury, I just don't want to interject on something that then is going to possibly interfere right now and then down the line. So, Mike, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Well, that was suitably confusing, but that's okay. So here's where you stand right now. You are currently you've moved to hold a site assignment hearing.
Yep.
In order to do that, what you're going to have to be doing is receiving all kinds of scientific and some of it could be medical, and some of it could be hydrogeology. Some of it could be air quality, water quality. All of those areas have to be looked at. Sound, especially, of course, and those all have to be looked at in a hearing. And what you would be doing in that hearing is getting all of this information that's actually going to be part of the siting process anyhow. And you will not have a seat at the table unless you are able to intervene. And the city solicitor or the town council and the special counsel, Mr. Bernstein, have agreed that there'd be no opposition to a petition to intervene into the process that's ongoing right now. That gives you a seat at the table with the planning, zoning, conservation, with all of the other commissions in town. They understand. I think that it was abundantly clear in the meeting that we had with them that if the Board of Health is not happy with, number one, their level of respect and the level of deference that the other boards give the Board of Health, since you have such different and such more power than the other boards do, then you're free to take whatever actions you want to take if they're not paying attention to you. I feel that if you were to participate in the process as it's going through right now, no meetings could take place without Shannon knowing that they're happening. And Shannon is your point person. You can all attend, or Shannon can attend on your behalf, or any of you can attend any of the proceedings once you have intervened. You are now all parties to the decision. If they go ahead and run you over, there is a potential for them doing that. Absolutely, there's a potential that the town manager and maybe the select board might be so focused on having this happen that they will discount and just not pay attention to anything that you all have to offer at the table. Then you always have the ability to come back and make a motion to convene a site assignment. The time that you would do that would be after the permits are given, unfortunately, because the company is going to have to spend a whole ton of money between now and then, and we'll have spent a ton of money. And then once you decide you want to do a site assignment, that means that they have to pay for everything from that point forward. I actually think that that going forward with a site assignment, notwithstanding what the town is doing, has a bunch of merit to it, because right now everybody's paying their own bills to study this. But if you do a site assignment, then the company has to, the license applicant has to come forward and pay for all of it. But the town seems to be, the town manager and your town council seem to be okay with doing it this way. And I think that it kind of gives you two bites at the apple. Now, I will say that Mr. Bernstein, who represents many of these best facilities across the state as their quote unquote special counsel, Mr. Bernstein opined on our phone call that, well, gee, the Board of Health has no authority to do a site assignment anyway, and you would be preempted from that. I'll tell you right now that there's a case currently in front of the Supreme Judicial Court involving preemption of a Board of Health because of a placement of a cell tower. I'm sorry, hold on a second. Beverly, I can't hear myself think. I'm sorry. There's a cell tower case in Pittsfield that's worked its way up to the SJC. In fact, the SJC took it away from the appeals court, saying that it's not going to matter what you say because this is coming to us anyway, so we might as well do it now. And that's addressing the issue of whether a Board of Health was preempted from taking action after a cell tower was put up and people started getting sick. Cheryl is of the strong opinion that that the fact that the SJC took the case is an indication that there have been so many cases that they've given rulings on, and they don't understand why this issue would be in front of them, and they want for once and for all to make a pronouncement that this is what boards of health do. It could go the other way just as easily. That was just Cheryl's opinion. But again, I think I've told you this before, that the SJC has never once ever in history of Massachusetts ever overturned a Board of Health action or order that was done on a proper record. And you will establish the proper record anyway, because the fact that the town would be discounting what you have to say would show the importance of putting public health into this mix. So I think that itself would establish enough of a record for you to go to court on anyway. I don't see, and Cheryl didn't see any real merit to Mr. Bernstein's position. Again, he makes his money doing nothing but these placements of these best facilities right now across the state. And I think that there's some inherent problems myself when somebody's only dealing with that one issue and has to see the same people every town he goes to. So the smarter course of action for Board of Health right now would be to participate in the proceedings as they come up through the town, and to flex your muscle. You may be in a position several times where you're just going to have to say, all right, well, that's it. We're walking away from this commission that you put together, and we're going to go ahead with our site assignment. It's a very very heavy hammer that you have over their head. And somebody, I guess, Melissa, okay. Just want to point out, Melissa just sent out a chat about George. So anyway, so that's basically what we're thinking. It was a pretty matter-of-fact meeting. My sense is that they understand. I think that they understand that Shannon is not crazy about giving up the idea of doing a site assignment, and I think that just having somebody in town hall who is ringing that bell constantly is going to be very helpful to the whole process. In the comments that we submitted to DOER, which I think we've shared with, I think you've all seen the MAHB comment. That's what MAHB was looking for, was to be sure that the boards of health are included from day one. The first time somebody comes to town hall to talk to the town manager or the select board or the planning board, they should have already talked to the Board of Health, and that's something that we're pushing. DOER is extremely warm to that idea. I know that they're working on their regulation now, and I've had several meetings with the folks from DOER, and they've made it clear that they're going to put something into their procedures, being sure that the boards of health have a seat at that table. So, any questions? I bet you have a couple. I know this group.
Thank you. And just for the record, George is on, but not on video. He just sent a chat, not really certain what is going on there, but so that everyone is aware that he is somewhere in the background. And thank you, Mike, for that explanation. Yes, it has been definitely one of the concerns because, as I mentioned before, we want to make sure that we're doing I want to make sure that I'm doing the correct thing, or at least the best possible way to ensure the safety and health of everyone in this town. And that's part of our role, and that's part of my role. So I really want to make sure that we do this without having any type of hindrance or anything. So, and the fact that knowing that we could in the future come back and vote on this again if need be is very helpful and grateful. So I'm glad with that. Any questions from the board?
Well, let me just say that if we were to do a site assignment, the site assignment wouldn't even begin until after the permit was granted.
Okay.
So this is not something that you'd start right away, because who knows? There's always that question of whether the permit would have been granted, and I think that the SJC, if it came to them, would say, well, we're inclined to agree with the Board of Health, but you haven't completed the process, so go back and either grant or deny the permit on a municipal level. Let the town decide that they're granting it or not, because the SJC would then say it's really not ripe for argument in front of us, because we don't know which way the town would have gone, because you've taken it away from them and you've assigned or not assigned the site in this case. So that's you'd have to wait anyway to do the site assignment, and this gives you really, I think, pretty much 2 bites of the apple, because if you're not able to convince the other boards, then you have the ability, once they all say yes, to go back and do the site assignment. And that's how it happened. Just, I like to use the New Bedford solid waste facility as our example. That was only 2 or 3 weeks ago. And we had a mayor, a city council, we had the state, the Department of Environmental Protection actually gave a certification that the siting was perfect for the DEP's purposes, and the Board of Health then held, once all of the permits were issued, then held its site assignment and prevented anything from becoming final, and that's now tied up in litigation. I understand that there's been a lawsuit in the last week or so over that, but that you wouldn't have come in yet anyhow. So you're really getting a chance to really test it. You're going to be testing your strength, and I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to be on the other side of Melissa. So.
Well, there is a hurricane with my name. That's not
what I'm
that best.
thinking. Yeah.
We were just talking about that. So yeah. Any other comments or questions from the board?
Just a
No.
comment. I thank you for the good information, because the way I read it, it was not as clear as the information you gave. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. Any others?
Oh, that doesn't mean it wasn't written well, by the way.
No,
I
that's
just didn't understand it as well as
No,
you
no.
spoke it.
No worries. So there's been a motion and it was seconded to, and George, I'm reiterating, it was to withdraw the board's prior action seeking a site assignment under the Mass General Law, Chapter 111, Section 143, regarding the proposed battery energy storage facility at 7375 Hillman. So if there is no other discussion, we should proceed to vote. So all in favor?
I have to do a roll call because you're remote.
Oh, we'll proceed to vote. So roll call vote. I've never done that before. So do I just go each person by themselves? Yep. Oh, okay. So, Chris.
What do I say? Agree or disagree? I'm a little confused.
It's a
Yeah,
yes
so
or
you
no
vote
vote.
yay or nay. Yes or no. Yeah.
Yes.
Susan,
Yes.
Pam,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
chair votes yes as well. Motion passes unanimously.
Okay,
Okay.
so let's talk about what you do now, because
Yes.
you're not done. You think you saved yourselves time, but You're not done. Here's what you need to do to participate now in a meaningful way at the table. And my guess is that you'll all have notice of it. Shannon is your agent, and it might be that this all gets put on Shannon to attend all of these meetings, because some of them could come up like on 3 minutes notice, and she's in the building already. But what you want to do is you want to develop a position that you can be advocating for that comes from a combination of some science and some common sense and some of the people that are affected, because you're representing the health interests of the people. There are situations, as we all know, where people might not want you representing their health interests, or you might be saying something that they don't like I'm thinking right away of masking during COVID. There were a lot of people that didn't want you doing anything about that. I'm actually writing a presentation right now on vaccine rejection for the Mass Health Officers Association meeting next week. So the issue of unpopular decisions is sitting right on the top of my mind. And I want to shelter you from being criticized down the road. So you should be now, for your next meeting or a couple of meetings even, you should be scheduling some public hearings where it's not the same type of a hearing that you'd be doing for a site assignment, because you're not going to be making a stenographic record and you're not going to have a hearing officer and all of that. Melissa will be the hearing officer as your chair. But you should let the public know that the Board of Health is looking for input. You should maybe set some dates to get written comment. Give them maybe 2 or 3 months to do written comment, or at least a month after you're done with your hearings. And I would have maybe 1 or 2 hearings, asking the people from the neighborhood to come in and talk about all of their concerns, catalog them. You're going to be recording it anyway, so I would think that would be the basis. Then Melissa or Shannon or whoever it is that goes in front of or participates in this meeting, as they start to happen, or they're already started, but as you get involved, you can start talking about how people are concerned with X, Y, and Z. The taxpayers are concerned with X, Y, and Z. The neighbors in Emerald Court are worried about this, that, and the other thing. We haven't done this study. We haven't done that study, and they brought this to our attention. Were the results of any sound testing or any modeling that you've done? I don't know whether or not you've even seen architectural plans for this thing as a Board of Health, but you should have that in front of you. You should have that blown up on a slide or something on the wall while they're talking. And Cheryl and I are here to help you get through that whole process. I think that we've certainly shown that you've got our attention, and this is what we're doing. So we'll help you to put all of that together. But you need, in order to make those statements, for Shannon to say we're concerned with X, Y, and Z, you've got to develop what the X, Y, and Z is, so that you've given her the fuel. And you're going to get some very good spokespeople that live in that area. I've watched the hearings and stuff at this point, and there's some that you might not really want to listen for too long to, but there are some there that really what they had to say is gold.
Yes.
And they're the ones that are going to be, quote unquote, sheltering in place while the arsenic and the hydrochloric everything starts falling out of the sky on their houses, and that's not where they should be. And that's something that you'll be able to comment on from a public health perspective. When the fire chief says, "Oh no, they can stay right where they are," Shannon, you can tear them to pieces, because you'll have the information you need to do that, and we'll make sure you have that.
Sounds good.
That's good. Thank you.
Yeah, Shannon, they're not going to like you in town hall. I have to warn you.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Okay.
It's okay.
The
I
only
don't make a lot of friends in this job anyway.
No.
Welcome to the club, Shannon.
The only thing that I'd like to add is, as everyone knows, and as you continue to say, Melissa, we're not for or against. We, as a board,
Right.
are just trying to get answers. And it's frustrating, because if we were with it from the beginning, there wouldn't be this that we're going through right now.
Right.
So I'm hoping that this brings us all together, including the town manager, including the select board and all the other boards.
Yes.
I'm hoping this brings us together so that we can work together, not separately or keep us
Apart.
at bay.
Yeah.
It's now it has to change and we need to come together. It's something that we've been saying for the last 4 years. So I'm just hoping this is the time.
Yeah. Agreed. I think, if anything, this has shown, like, it's shown how, like, there's a lot of disconnect where
Yes.
we've been trying to connect and fill the gaps. And again, like, it's not for or against. We really want to ensure that if it's coming, that it's safe and it's well for everyone. I live here. We all live here. I want to make sure that it's safe for everyone. And so that's the only thing. I just want to make sure it's safe. And so I want to listen to the people. And if it wasn't for the people sending those emails and the residents sending the emails, it wouldn't have gotten to us. And it is, it is frustrating to see that because, and on record, I've asked, I asked about this and it was said, oh, when it's time, it'll come in front of the board. And so I guess it's time.
It's-
And I wish it was sooner because we could have answered a lot of questions and a lot of the fear may have been, not so much, or we could have discussed other methods or other things too, and making sure and working together, like you said. So, hopefully this, lesson learned. I don't think anything happens, without having a reason. And so lesson learned for everyone, for all of us on, how to proceed in the future. Definitely a learning experience. So, okay. Any other questions for Mike or anything before we do our next motion? Okay. So, and correct me if I'm wrong. So the next we'll entertain a motion to submit the petition to intervene as a full party in the EFSB 2508 proceeding regarding the proposed battery energy storage facility.
I make that motion.
Okay, motion has been put forward by George,
I second.
seconded by Susan. Is there any discussion on this motion?
I just want
Seeing-
to make sure you're part of it.
Yes.
Shannon's part of it. You're all part of it.
So this would put the whole entire board, correct, Mike? Like me saying that, entertain them? Yeah, so the Board of Health, yes. So any one of us, including Shannon, yes. All of us, any one of us at any given time.
Perfect.
Yep. Any other discussions? All right, so we will proceed to vote. So roll call vote. I'll start with George,
Yes.
Pam,
Yes.
Susan,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
chair votes aye as well. Motion passes unanimously. Okay. So that concludes our new business. Is there any further discussion, anything that we are missing? Mike?
No,
Okay.
I think you're good. You should set a date and
Yep.
let people know that it's happening.
Okay. Yeah, so our next scheduled Board of Health meeting is November 20th at 6 p.m. in the first floor meeting room. So we can do that hearing then. We'll add that.
That sounds good.
What was
Yeah.
the date of that? Give that to me again.
It's November 20th.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little ways. I mean, we can do something sooner if need be, but
No. That's
Yeah.
good.
yeah, that gives us plenty of time to have everyone notified and aware of the hearing and get that moving forward. In the meantime, I will be speaking with town council to get that message across to intervene, since we voted on that, to get that process in. as a full party and then move on forward with that. And I'll keep you all notified. I'll let Shannon know so that she can notify every one of you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So if there's no further discussion, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I motion to adjourn.
Do a roll call.
Second.
Just to cover yourself, do a roll
Oh,
call.
Yes. Motion has been put forward by Susan, seconded by Pam. Going to do roll call for Chris,
Yes.
Susan,
Yes.
Pam,
Yes.
George.
Yes.
Chair votes aye as well. The meeting is adjourned at 6:36 p.m. Thank you, everyone. I greatly appreciate your time.